Brandon Cantu has almost $1 million in live tournament earnings, and he's only been traveling the circuit for a little over a year. He made a name for himself when he beat out 2,776 players to win one of the $1,500 buy-in no-limit events at the 2006 World Series of Poker. Since then, Cantu has had 7 major cashes. He also had one other first-place finish, which was in the Binion's Ultimate Poker Challenge. Cantu's most recent cash was at the World Series. He finished 54th in the $1,500 pot limit Omaha event. Brandon, it's been a little bit over a year since you won your bracelet. How's your life changed?
Of all the questions, I hate this one the most.
Why is that?
It just really bothers me because I like to think that it hasn't changed me, even though it has. It's brought me a lot more nicer things, I'd say. That's really been the big thing, you know. I try to think that I haven't been too much of a different person, but you know, upgraded, got like a nice house, and
yeah, you're here in Vegas now. You bought a house. Are you settled in?
Yeah, I finally got settled in. I've lived here just over a year now, year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half. So it's a lot better now.
So how did the World Series treat you the second time around?
It went really bad, and I had such high expectations.
You had a few cashes though, right?
Yeah, a couple of cashes, but they weren't anything of size. It was a bit of a letdown, I gotta say, because I really thought I was going to win one every year. So I guess that
there's always next year.
Right.
So did you notice any big differences between the World Series this year and last year?
Yeah, I did. It really, you could really tell, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it seemed like there's a lot more events. I'm not sure how many there was the day before or the year before.
Yeah, there definitely were. There were 55 this year.
It just seemed like there was always so much going that, okay, if you bust out of the 12 o'clock in a hurry, got to hurry and make it to the 5 o'clock, you know.
And beat the lines.
Right, got to beat the lines. It seemed like there was and maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like there was a lot more clutter this year, especially in the beginning.
Yeah. So if Harris asked you what they could maybe change for next year's World Series, what would you recommend?
Well, it actually changed. It was just chaotic. There was just so much chaos, and I felt like there was no good structure. But it actually, and I think it was like this the year before. But it takes them a week or two, and then all the structure gets there. So it was good. It was good in the end. So
on your poker game, do you think since you won your bracelet, your game has improved in any ways?
Yeah, I do think. I think it's improved a lot.
Probably focusing a lot more on poker.
Right. I always focused a lot on poker. It's always been my main thing. I was always putting lots of hours into it. I think you always improve over time. I don't think many people just get worse. So.
Have you ever received a really good piece of poker advice? Recently, in your childhood, anytime?
It's kind of. I don't think so. Well, maybe I have recently, but I never really talked to any like big poker pros before.
So you don't talk strategy with a lot of people?
No, it's kind of funny because all my friends will try to talk hand stories with me. I'm like, no, I don't want to hear your hand story. It's really bad, but
you can start charging to listen to their beats.
Right. I got a few friends that they just can't stop telling hand stories. So I'm like, no more hand stories.
And you don't talk about hands with them?
So I can't tell hands with them since I've banned it.
So there's no poker talk, no
hand
talk?
No, I try not to talk hands unless, it's something really big in someone's life, a big hand. Yeah. I try not to.
What is the most common pitfall of young successful players who do win a bracelet or a WPT event when they are still fairly young and then they have to survive here in Vegas?
I think the biggest thing is money management. I just think it's so hard to win that bracelet and to win a poker tournament, and if you hit I did like the 750,000. I think it's just so easy just to think you're gonna go hit it again. Let's just play really high stakes cash games.
Yeah.
Really high stakes, and I've seen a lot of people just blow through it. I'm sure you've heard of it too. They win a bracelet, win a WPT event, they go through all the money 2-3 months, and it's gone, and now they're flat broke again. So I hope not to put myself in that category, and just kind of.
So how did you manage your money?
I tried not to just go ridiculously high stakes. And I did a lot of investing with it. I bought a house, and so that was my investment into it. So
what stakes are you comfortable playing? Like, what do you prefer to play here in Vegas?
I've been playing a lot of just 5-10 online. I've been like 4 and 5 tabling it. Other than that, but if I go play live, I'll go play 10-20 maybe. Mm-hmm.
So if one of your friends was to win a big tournament like Legends, WPT coming up, what would be your best advice to them in the days following that big win?
I don't know. Well, I think it depends on who you are.
Yeah.
You know? It just depends on which friend. Every friend, I think, you kind of have to give different advice to. It just depends on which one it is, you know.
So now do you mainly play tournaments or cash games as your main source of income?
It was tournaments for a while, and then I started to kind of... I've had a really bad '07. I had a really, really good '06, even beyond that one win. Just a really good '06, and now '07 I've kind of turned more to cash games, which I've been doing pretty good at.
More steady?
Yeah, more steady. Tournaments, it's like you put so much time just to...
You could be 4 days in and then
it seems like only the top 4 or 5 spots pay, you know.
Whereas in cash games, you have the opportunity
to
just do your thing, get up when you have the money.
Right, I still play them both, like, all the time.
Are you going to be traveling the tournament circuit this year?
Yeah, I am. I think I'm going to be a little bit more selective on the tournaments I play, though. Mm-hmm. So I am going to cut back a little bit this year.
Do you usually buy into the $10,000 events, or do you try and satellite in?
I buy into all of them. In fact, I hardly ever play satellites to them. I played a few, but I've never actually won a seat.
Okay.
Ever. So I'm surprised. In fact, this year, that's going to be another thing I'm going to focus on.
Satellites?
Trying to win seats into the 10Ks.
We have a video on satelliting up on Card Player TV. You should check it out.
I will. I'll pick up some pointers.
Okay, cool. So are you going to be going to the Legends at the end of the month, or what's the next WPT event we'll see you in?
I'm not sure about Legends, but I want to go to World Series Europe.
Okay.
I really want to do that. So that's probably going to be, for sure, the next thing, and I'm not sure about the bike.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for coming by today, Brandon.
All right, thank you.
Lizzie Harrison with Brandon Cantu for Card Player TV.